Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back here again with another video, and today what I want to talk about is the bull run. Whether or not we're going to be getting another bull run this year. When I talk about this with a lot of people, they kind of get annoyed in the sense where they feel as though I oversimplify it. And that may be the case. These people have been in crypto for much longer than me. But at the same time, complexity does not necessarily mean that there's more truth to a statement. I think sometimes complexity can just kind of convolute the whole basis which you're trying to predict, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense in the end. So what I mean by that is we've ETFs, okay, which is exchange traded funds, and I know that Bitcoin is trying to actually be put on actual stock exchanges. So an exchange traded fund is an investment fund traded on stock exchanges, much like stocks. And as you can see, Bitcoin ETF, why we might be waiting a while for the Bitcoin ETF. That is a totally logical reason as to what could cause the next run up. Or you hear people always joking and saying, oh, no, the Chinese New Year. I know that's a running joke, but there's a bunch of stuff. Or the other one that I swear to God I'm about to be institutionalized if I hear it again, which is the institutional money. Institutional money is going to be running in. And that may very well be true. But when we look back at Bitcoin, and as I said, I could very well be oversimplifying this. I really could. But if we look back here, we had this enormous run-up that started in very late November, and then it was already going up quite normally, but it seems as though once we hit 10,000 on Bitcoin, the thing just skyrocketed. And then we go back another year, and then you say, okay, much smaller, but we had another little tiny bull run there. Not tiny for the time. And then we go back, and oh, look at that, not in June, but the year before, in November, it shot up again. And I think, what was it? I think it was a year before where the entire, here it was, the entire year was downhill. But once again, in December. You see what I'm talking about? So this is completely a cyclical thing. And that's why I think that when it happens every single year at the same time, although 2014, how long did it go down for? I think it went down, oh my God, I think all the way until 2016 when it finally recovered. But I don't like the complexity in this. Sometimes I think it is better to view things through the most pragmatic lens, which is, hey, if something has happened every single year in December, maybe there's some type of pattern forming. What's a little bit disheartening about this bull run last year was the fact that I remember hearing people saying, oh yeah, we're going to scroll out on the charts and we're going to say, can you imagine, or can you believe that this is where we're at now? Can you believe that this whole run up here is going to look like a tiny little blip on the radar compared to the next bull run? And which kind of sucks is we're almost down to the same level that we were at last year. So anyway, with that being said, I invested in coins like dApps and whatnot, and this one really let me down. I feel like if we never would have swapped, I know they did it for a good reason. This is all relatable, so bear with me. If we never would have had to do that swap, maybe we could have been at, I don't know, 20, 30 Satoshis by now, luckily. And then we truly could have launched when the bull run is coming. But now, I feel like even if we do, a 10x, it's really not that crazy because of where we would have been otherwise. And this was a coin that I looked at the same way I adored XVG, which I never really bought any of. But just to see that this was this tiny little sub-Satoshi coin that is revered for making countless millionaires. And I thought that dApps was going to be the same thing, but at this time last year, XVG was much higher. But you kind of see that most of these new coins that are starting to crop up, you can see that with a lot of them, they're all showing these signs of, oh wow, look at this, man. the volume's picking up. Sorry, it's touchscreen. I can't. XBI, RPM, Kubo. You look at all these coins and you say these are all new coins, and the volume is really starting to run up, and people are starting to buy these up, and nobody has any explanations for it. And it reminds me out of one of those Godzilla movies almost, where the guy's up at 3 a.m. and you see the seismograph going off, and he's like, "Oh my God, we gotta call the press. We gotta call the president. It's coming. It's coming." Hopefully, I'm not being delusional, but when you look all across the board and you see all these new coins that are really starting to pop, you're thinking, "Oh boy, is this the start of it?" But I really mean this though, simply from a cyclical outlook, from the outlook of patterns and how they form. When almost every year in December, 2014 was obviously a disaster after that happened. For all I know, maybe this could be another 2014 and 15, where we just keep going down, 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 and it's going to be the December of 2019 where it pops off. But I look at this, and I just can't help but think, this would be a very good time to start accumulating some of your altcoins that you think could even have a tenth of the potential, of other coins that you've invested in. I really do think that this could be a great time, because if we do get another bull run, you can use all that money that you made. A lot of the people that I know who are doing so well with trading is because they haven't had the work. All the funds that they use is this massive reservoir from this bull run that happened last year that completely exploded. And the whole year they were pretty much freewheeling it. They were just riding for free off their investments and putting money into it and just flipping stuff and flipping stuff. And now we're all loaded up with bags of these altcoins. And I just hope that it happens again this year. Normally I'm more well-spoken, but this is so kind of philosophical. I'm obviously not saying this as a certainty, but I hope so. For me, I protected myself with Trios. I believe that if Trios does explode with GCR, that's a platform that's anchored to gold. That's going to do well anytime because it's anchored through an algorithm. But even if you're not invested in that, this just seems like the best time of the year to be accumulating. Now, I don't know if I can say the same for coins that are older. Nano hit a huge run up, and a lot of people really don't like Nano. They said that was overhyped. I thought that was going to be a great coin. It seems like it fell flat, and for the most part, it's been abandoned. Not by the developers or anything, just in terms of the overall morale that people felt. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you're invested in. I swear to God, even though the traders that are very good managed to stay alive throughout this whole bear run, which is really cool, the whole, not bear run, bear market, even though they managed to stay alive, I've hung in here for a year. I am not going to feel guilty at all if I just can kick my feet up and we go full autopilot mode. But remember, guys, this is a pattern. So if it starts to get late December, please sell at the top, or as close as you can to the top. Don't be telling yourself, "Oh, imagine where it's going to be in March." If you are up 2,000 or 3,000 or however many thousands % in December, sell. Please sell. You'll have a good rest of the year. I promise you.